Learning 16th July 2023 quiz 1. So this question is related to contours. So look at the contours of a hill. So look at the contours of a hill shown below. Suppose a person walks from location A to B, A to C via location B. Then choose the correct statement from the following list of statements. This question is related to contours. So finally, what is meant by contours? So what is meant by contours? First, contours are closed surfaces. These are closed surfaces. Closed, generally it represents the lost surfaces. Closed lost surfaces is called contours. If you forget C for contours, that is remember closed. S for surface. So closed surfaces, it represents the loss value. See in this figure there is a values. Each circle represents values 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1, minus 0.4, minus 0.2, minus 0.8, minus 0.6. These represents the loss values. So these are loss values. So the contours are generally closed circles. If the contours are very close to each other, if these contours are very close to each other like this, that is less distance between these contours. So it has higher gradient value. Very important, remember higher gradient value. Gradient means delta values. Higher gradient values. Gradient, that is slope. Generally slope is gradient. Higher gradient values. If the contours are very far, like this, that is the distance between these two contours is far. At that time, at that place where the slope is, that is the gradient has low values, that is smooth surfaces. The gradient delta it has two types of values. So gradient has high values and low values. So gradient means slope. So if the high values, these are steep surfaces. If the gradient is low, flat or gentle surfaces. Okay, remember these points, these are important. So again, for example, this is a contour like this. The contour is like this. So if we, for example, we remember this is a trick. This is the minimum value. Generally, this curves like this, it has a minimum value at this point, right? This is the minimum value. So at minimum value, when moving outward, so moving outward means arrow represents the increasing. So what increasing? Loss value is increasing. So when we moving in a contour, when we moving outward, its loss value is increasing. It is a minimum value. In a contour, this is the maximum value. When we moving outward, the loss value is decreasing. Then it is a maximum value. that is you have to remember 2 points. So there is a point P, there is a point P. If we move outward, inside or outside, any way, if we move inside or outside, if the loss is increasing, loss value is increasing, it is a minima. If the loss value is decreasing, it is a maxima. So how do you remember this if you forgot in the exam? So generally increasing means represented with high value, increasing more. Decreasing means low value, right? So you put opposite. If it is increasing, high value, opposite, right? Like this. So it is opposite direction to arrows. This is a trick you have to remember. In this graph, in this question, they mentioned a person walks and a location A. So a person starts here. So person start here, location A. If he is location A, in this diagram, the loss values are minus 0.2, minus 0.2, minus 0.4, minus 0.2, minus 0.4, minus 0.6, minus 0.8. So how a person moving from A to B in this direction, that is here the contours are very near, higher low distance. If it is very low distance, so this one very high closed curves, wide curves. If these are very closed, higher slope is high, that is slope is high means gradient is high values, steep surfaces. Which options are correct? Okay. So the person is at A and the person is at position A. So he is moving from A to axis, this axis, right? In this direction, moving A to axis and axis to B, that is B, and B to axis in this direction, B to axis and axis to C. So how the loss values are changes with respect to axis and B, we will check. So from this diagram, from A to axis, the values are minus 1, minus 0.8, minus 0.6, minus 0.4, minus 0.2. B to axis at this point. So first we draw. So in this direction, 0, minus 1 is here and this is plus 1, minus 0.8, minus 0.6, minus 0.4, like that, minus 0.2. Here 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 to 1. So here the values are moving from minus 1 to 0.8 like this, that is minus 1 to moving like this in this direction, minus 0.2. In this direction the values are increasing. So increasing means that is loss value is increasing. When loss is increasing and the loss is decreasing, when the loss is increasing, this is a minima point. So this is a minimum point. When axis to B, the values are 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 0.1. That is 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 0.1, moving in this direction. These are values are also increasing. So here also values are increasing. So increasing means minima point. So completely the values from A to B is -1 to 1, that is the values are increasing. So all these are minima points. This is a complete one step only. If these are increasing and these are decreasing, if these are increasing, these are decreasing, next these are increasing, these are decreasing, means these are two steps. Consider here from -1 to 1 these values are increasing only. So because of that there is a one step. The person has to do one step ascending, that is a minimum point. From that is A to B is a minimum point, one step ascending. So A to B is ascending, one step ascending. From here B to C, one step descending, like this. From B to axis, how these values are changing, we will check. From B to axis, the values are 1, 0.8, 0.8, 0.6, 0.4 and 0.2. So these values are decreasing. If the loss is decreasing, it is a maximum point. These values are decreasing, so is a maximum point. From axis to C, how these values are, so 1 to 0.2. So here these are moving in this direction, 1 to 0.2, decreasing. These are decreasing. From axis to C, the values are -0.2, -0.4, -0.6, -0.8 and -1. So these values are also from this axis, these are moving in this direction. These values are also decreasing. Moving right side, these values are decreasing. So decreasing. This is also maxima. So complete -1 +1 to -1 is +1 to -1 is a decreasing. That is one step maximum. So complete continuously these are decreasing. There is no breaks. This is one step. So from the option the person has to one step ascending and one step descending. One step ascending and one step descending, like this only. This option is correct. The person has to do two step ascending. If this one is wrong, this one is also wrong, as one step ascending. All these are others are wrong, because how these are only continuously increasing from -1 to 1, one step ascending, and 1 to -1, one step descending. One step descending. So from this in my perspective I understood like this. If you like this, watch this video and support my channel, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.